Get ready because we've got the legend, Mr. Travis Stevens, with us right now. How you doing, Trav?
Man, I'm doing good. How y'all doing? Good morning. Good Sunday morning, man. How y'all
Yes,
doing?
sir.
Good
It's good
morning.
to see you. How you been, Travis?
Man, I've been doing good. Blessed. Very blessed, bro. Very, very
All
blessed.
right. Awesome, man. We appreciate you joining us. We were just talking a little college football here, something you know a lot about. We were breaking
A little
down
bit.
the
A little bit. Not a lot. Just a little bit.
Hell yeah, you do,
A little
man. The
bit.
all-time great. We were talking about the SEC dominating once again. We got the big game tomorrow. Let us know
Yeah.
who you liking, man. You like Georgia? You like Bama? Who you think's going to win? And what do you think about this season as a whole?
I don't know. The season has been good, man. As far as with those two teams, they really dominated. I've been pulling for Georgia for a while. I don't know. It's Alabama is just hard. I guess they got the number, but I'm really pulling for Georgia. I won't bet on the game, but Georgia, I think it's their year. They just got to come to play, man. It's going to be a tough one though, and it's going to be a good matchup, I believe.
Hey, Travis, is it hard to cheer for Georgia and Bama since they're old rivals of yours? I mean, it's kind of like you kind of want like a tie to happen in the end because no matter what, you're kind of depressed that one of your rivals is going to win the national championship. So it's like a no-win situation. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't. As long as they're not playing Tennessee, if they play in Tennessee, I'm going for Tennessee. Period. Anybody that plays Tennessee, but then I like Tennessee doesn't have a fight in this match, so I don't mind if one or the other lose. Win or lose or whatever. But as far as I know, people always talk about Alabama. I know they've been great for the last 10 or so years or whatever. But I always told people, I said, I don't have anything against Alabama because I've never lost to Alabama during my playing days. So why would I be mad? Why would we be mad at them? But no, yeah, like I said, we're not in it. So somebody has to win. During the time I played, I've developed good relationship with the players of those other teams. So it's not like I've never been mad at nobody that plays for any of of our rivals or whatever. So yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and Travis, I got to ask you a question. I mean, obviously, back when you played for Tennessee, they were rolling. Tennessee was dominating. They finished in the top 10, top 5 year after year. And, that's a hard thing to do. And now we're seeing Coach Saban and Bama do it year in, year out. And I just want to get your thoughts on Coach Saban and the dynasty that he's built down there. It's pretty impressive, right?
Of course, he's done a great job, man. He's built a system that has worked, So that's a good thing about it, Even though he had coaches coming in and out and stuff, he's still a system. As long as he's in place, whatever he's doing is working, And a lot of his coaches have left on and had great success, like the coach he's playing against now. And but it seems like most of them can't beat him. So that system, that pedigree, whatever he's doing, man, it's crazy. Because we played against him, and I just I realized some years ago, but it was Nick Saban. Of course, we lost to against when he was playing with LSU. I coached him in LSU, so and he won a championship there. So whatever he's doing is working down there in Alabama. So like I said, just I hope we can get on some kind of rhythm like that at Tennessee. And I think we're in the right direction right now. So like I said, we just just got to hope for the best right now. So, but yeah, Saban is doing a great job.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, James, I'll let you jump in here in a second. I just want to piggyback off that and talk about Tennessee and Coach Heupel. I thought he did a tremendous job this year, considering, beginning of the year, depth was an issue. Only 70 scholarship players, a lot of attrition with guys starting all over, the country. Henry To'oTo'o starts for Bama, for example, and a lot of other guys that left. He was able to win 7 games and get us to a bowl game. And I've got to say, I was pretty impressed with that. I just want to get your thoughts on Heupel's first year and where you think Tennessee's headed.
Well, like Heupel, I like what he's doing. I like, Tennessee, we haven't seen an offense like that. Even when I played, we were just a, ground and pound type of team. And in this new DNA, just like it's a pass heavy, system with, everybody. So I'm enjoying, we like, as an offensive guy, I like touchdowns. I like, people scoring, and then, of course I do like defense, but I believe the direction he's taking this team in with the players that that he already acquired, and, with everybody leaving, I think he's done a wonderful job. And I think we're going to build on that by, we got, these high school players, these good players out of high school will see that and they'll be like, well, because everybody can't go to one team. Everybody can go to Alabama. Everybody can go to Georgia. Everybody can go to some of these other powerhouse SEC teams. So I think that does help us in a way to see, as I know as a high school player, and if I see, as a receiver or anything, or quarterback, I'd be like, well, Tennessee is on a rise right now. And so I would definitely, I definitely think that, be an open eye for any player that's coming out of high school and seeing what this is doing.
Hey, Travis, this is James Bonneville here. I look back at your career when you came in as a freshman. You had Lewis and Bryson and Henry and yourself in your running back room. And I mean, you guys were grinding it out. I mean, it's kind of legendary thinking back all the depth you guys had in that room. But you look at the culture today is so different with the transfer portal. What are your thoughts on the transfer portal? Because it seems like there's a lot of guys who they get right there to the end, and if they're not getting the snaps, they're going to try to go to somewhere else. Where, I mean, you guys are always like, probably, I'm not sure we're friends or not, but competing with one another and being in that same room where it's kind of legendary, kind of thinking back. I mean, what are your thoughts about the transfer portal today moving ahead?
As far as with players, I think it's a good thing. It is a good thing because if they're not getting the opportunity to play, if a team is not going to use you, yes, I believe you should go somewhere where you need it, where we're going to be used. Because with me, I could have almost wasted a year if I wouldn't have went to Coach Former after my sophomore year and asked him for a red shirt. I would have never had that senior year.
Yeah.
So I know coaches don't like it because they want all they want everything. They want all the good players they can have, but at the same time, you got to look at your future and the situation you want to play. Of course, you want to play, and I don't mind playing with great players. If, like I said, as long if I'm not playing, it's the person in front of me is going to be great. That's what I always thought because I know what I'm going to do when I get out there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't mind that. So, but then again, you got to look at I had to look at my situation and make sure that I wasn't going to waste a college career in which if I wouldn't have redshirted after my sophomore year, and usually people, they redshirt their first year, I asked for this red shirt so I can have all I said to coach, I just need, 1 year. And I was, telling everybody I just need 1 year, so that worked out. So I believe, with the transfer portal right now, it's good for players, as long as they use it the right way and they know what they're doing. They see the situation they're in and a possible situation that they can be used in if they have to go to another college.
Yeah. No, I think that's spot on, Trav, and I agree with you 100%. I think it's something that needs to be there, and there needs to be the ability to let guys go because these coaches jump around with no restrictions.
Yeah, exactly.
They can sell you a bill of goods and tell you all this stuff and get you to come to their school, and then you arrive on campus and they're outie because somebody's offering them more money, like Brian Kelly. So I think that's important. But we had Reggie Brooks on the show a couple weeks ago, and he talked about how he wasn't getting to play at all when he got to Notre Dame. Jerome Bettis was there, and Raheem Ismail, and Ricky Waters. His brother, Tony Brooks, and he was 6th or 7th on the depth chart, and he was considering transferring, but he said that he would never change it because he stayed there. He had an amazing season, similar, not as good as yours, but close to as good as yours at Notre Dame, and he still works there. So sometimes waiting it out and waiting for your turn is good, right, Trav?
Yeah. I mean, like I wouldn't, like you said, I that's what I did. I waited, as long as, like I said, I wait, I sit out. I don't mind, being patient. But like I said, as long as you're going to be useful, you want to be some kind of use of Tennessee. I would have been no use if I wouldn't have played. If I would have just continued to to play out and not redshirt. So yes, it just depends on each player situation that works out best for them, man. So that's all that is.
Hey, from a culture standpoint, like I look back at your high school career with Coach Burke at Northeast, Coach Fulmer at Tennessee, and also your position coach and Coach McCorvey. You know, we all see the frontward facing side of it. What was the culture behind the scenes and how that helped shape you as a player? Because I think that's a lot of things that people don't talk about. They just see the product in the field and they see the interviews. What was the culture like off field and how that helped motivate you be the best player you could be?
First, they treat you like men first, and they were kind of like, those coaches are like father figures, and like Woody McCorvey, he always, man, I never heard any, you meet somebody that always have a story about everything, Coach McCorvey is one of those guys, so, Coach, it was Coach Butler and then Burke in high school, but Butler was one of those coaches, man, that would get you ready for any game. It can be you can be playing like a 10-year-old, a pee-wee team, and, you high school, and he'll have you he psychologically have you thinking that you can lose to this team. So, but he'll have you pumped and ready to go for any team that you face. And like I said, Randy was my first position coach when I got to UT. Good guy. He had stories as well. So each is, for each coaches, they have their different way of, getting you motivated or whatever. But, as players, we want to play. So sometimes it don't take anything. We just want to win. I'm a winner. I hate losing. So that's just, it's part of it.
Yeah, well, they didn't lose very often when you were out there, Trav.
Absolutely.
I just want to hear a little bit about, that 2001 season. What was the mentality, going into that year? Because obviously you were the guy, you were going to get the carries, but, there was guys that came before you. There was guys that were going to come after you. But what was your mentality going into that season that led to you having such an amazing record-setting season?
Just to make sure I was ready. I knew it was going knew it was my turn. So I had to make sure like before I was like, let me have my season, so, but anyway, I just had to make sure I was ready. In the off season, I did extra, you have to do extra when it's your turn. So you got to be over ready just about. So I was training, outside the team and then with the team. And, I was just doing extra stuff. This guy, Vince Martin, I know he went to University of Tennessee. He was a track guy. And he also worked for the university after he left. But he was a workaholic, like as far as training, a trainerholic, whatever you want to call it, still to this day. But he had this, we call it like the underground workout system. That we'll get up 5 a.m, meet at Tom Black track, and we'll do drills and all kind of hard stuff. We did. I know one workout we did a mile of lunges. Ever try a mile of lunges? Doing lunges for a mile, back and forth, and then try to, like, I couldn't even walk the next couple of days, just trying to get up and everything. So, I mean, that's some of the stuff that we went through as far as getting ready. And then I was, like I said, I was doing things with the football team, so I had a real tough off season to prepare for, that 2001 season. So I was definitely ready, and I wasn't going to let, that opportunity pass me.
Hey, take us back to that 2001 Florida game. I mean, not only were you hungry as ever for that senior season, I could only imagine you were probably chomping at the bit so much. But that Florida game, I mean, quite frankly, it was magical. I mean, what was going through your mind during that time period? I mean, Grant, we're talking 20 years ago now, but I mean, not only that game and doing what you did, but doing it against Spurrier had to have been even more sweet during that process. So take us there.
Yeah, well, I just remember coming in, my freshman year in '97. That was our first time. That was Peyton's senior year, going down there and just witnessing the atmosphere, seeing, of course, that was throughout that whole year, that was the one game that I just know the press, everybody else, was talking about. So it was just, even coming from high school, coming into college to UT, and they always talk about the Florida game. You know what I'm saying? So this is like the biggest game of the year. It wasn't even Alabama. Alabama was traditionally big, but Florida, at the present time was the biggest game. So a lot of media attention was put on that, and the coaches, players. I mean, it was just it was different. It was different. It was a big stage. So being a freshman, not playing at that time of that game, and just I don't know if you've been to Florida and heard,
I have.
that's probably the largest stadium in history of college football. I don't know the last stadium I've been in, but as far as that atmosphere, I loved it, and I was like, I needed that. I wouldn't, if I ever had the opportunity, I was going to make sure, I took advantage of it, being down here in Florida against all odds when you're not, you're not supposed to win. So coming to my senior season, with that year was going to be, of course, it was going to be in Florida, but it was 9/11. Where and I ain't gonna say I'm glad that 9/11 happened, but we would have been like I think we had like 3 or 4 guys hurt. John Henderson hurt. We had a lot of guys who wouldn't help them, so it was pushed back toward the end of that year. And I just knew going in that game, I just wanted to be prepared and ready and focused. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people think that you have to have, like, I didn't expect to have a big game, but I just expected to come in there and being focused and doing whatever I needed to do to help the team win. And of course, my focus is on, I guess it was on 110 that day. And, my offensive line, man, we had a great offensive line. A lot of those guys went to the pros as well. But it was just a game where, one of those games that I got in the zone. I seen everything, holes opening up, and I was just very in tune and focusing, just winning the game. A lot of guys will make a big play and they'll get up and act like the game is over. Like, that, playing Florida, Florida that year was, if you heard Spurrier said, that's probably one of his best Florida teams. And them guys, you can't just, have a big play and expect it to be like the game's over, score a touchdown, the game is over. The game is over. The game is not over until it's 0-0. The clock is 0-0. But like I said, it was just one of those games where I was in the zone and I felt good. And like I said, I did not want to lose. I did not want to lose. And and if y'all remember that before the game, game day, they counted us out. They said, we had no chance of winning. And we're a number 4 team in the nation. I was like, man, it was a total disrespect. So that was a little bit of extra motivation in getting all of us prepared. You know what I'm saying? So that was, like I said, it was a special game, and I'm glad, we're being victorious. And of course, it'll be always something that I will remember.
Yeah. Well, Travis, I will always remember it too, buddy. I mean, I just love the way that you played and the way that you got after it, and the way that you were a complete back, catching balls, running balls, blocking when you had to. I will never forget it. And you will always be one of my favorite players. And we got a guest here that asked a question. This is Robert. He said, Travis, I appreciate the way you played. What are you up to these days?
Yeah, I'm just working, taking care of the family, man. Like I said, I'm just, and we're trying to stay in shape, man. I can look like it, but I don't feel like I can play ball. But yeah, I'm just like taking that two bad little girls, man. I gotta, look out for it, and an old lady. So yeah, it's just, I'm maintaining, man, and playing fantasy football.
Nice. I love it. Well, Trav, man, we appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for coming on our show. We got a lot of Tennessee fans that watch, and they I know they love this, and I loved it. So thank you so much for giving us a few minutes and joining us on a Sunday.
Thanks for having me, man. Peace out and go Balls, baby.
Hey.
All right, man. Go Balls. Be
Thank
good.
you. Have a great